Good morning. Today's weather will be heavy rain with temperatures ranging from 18.5 to 23.4 degrees and a 95% chance of rain.
Welcome to Grablo. In this tutorial, we'll create a daily voice weather forecast system that tells you today's weather through a Bluetooth speaker when motion is detected by a PIR sensor during morning hours. Ready to never forget your umbrella again? Let's get started. Create a new project and give it a name. Now let's add a new logic to build our smart weather system. First, add a new control for motion detection. Since we need constant monitoring for motion, add an always type condition. Next, add an I/O device control action and create a new device. Then search for and select Digital Read-Write. PIR sensors are digital output devices that send a high signal when human motion is detected, so we'll use this device type. Enter the GPIO pin number on the controller where your sensor is connected and set the mode to read. Select the device we just added and set the command to read pin. Create a variable to store the sensor reading and assign it accordingly. Perfect. Now let's create the control that tells you today's weather when motion is detected during morning hours. Add a compare condition and select the variable storing our sensor data, set the operator to equal, and the value to true. Set the option to rising edge so the weather forecast plays only once when motion is detected. Since we only want the weather forecast during morning hours, add a time range condition and set it from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. Let's add one more condition to make it work only on weekdays. Add a schedule condition. Set the repeat unit to week and select Monday through Friday. Now for the exciting part. Let's create our weather forecast actions. First, we need to get today's weather from a weather service. Add an HTTP communication action. For this tutorial, we'll use weatherapi.com as our weather data provider. Sign up for a free account and get your API key. Format the URL with your API key as shown in the Grablo documentation to request weather data for your location. Create a variable to store the weather response text and assign it. Next, we need to extract the weather information we want from this response. Let's start by creating variables to store the information. Go to Settings, navigate to the Variable section, and add 4 new variables to store the weather information we'll extract from the API response. Now add a custom action and launch the block editor to extract only the information we need. The Weather API response is in JSON text format, so we need to parse it first to easily access the information we need. Add a variable read block and select the weather text variable containing the API response. From the JSON category, add a parse block and connect it to the variable block. Create a local variable and set it to the parsed JSON object. This converts the text format into a JSON object format, making it much easier to find the data we need. Next, add a variable write block and select the condition text variable. Connect a JSON path extraction block to get values from our JSON object using the path to the data we want. Connect the local variable containing our parsed JSON object to the JSON path extraction block and enter the path to the data we want to extract. For example, the path to today's weather condition text would look like this. The path format follows RFC 6901 JSON pointer specification. Repeat this process to extract and store the other 3 weather data points in their corresponding variables. Now let's create our weather announcement using the 4 weather data we just extracted. Add a text-to-speech action and create a new text-to-speech. We'll use the offline TTS engine for this tutorial. This TTS uses the WITS neural network model, and Grablo has a built-in English language model. If you want higher quality voice or different languages, you can download additional models or use online TTS services. Check the Grablo documentation for more details. Select the TTS we just created. Now let's create the actual sentence for our weather announcement. Click the button next to Output Text to launch the block editor. From the text category, add a text join block and connect it to the return block. Create enough slots and connect text blocks to build our spoken message. To include the values from our 4 weather variables in the announcement, add variable read blocks and connect them. Just make sure to convert the number type variables to text type before connecting them. Perfect! Our logic is now complete. Let's recap what we've built. When the PIR sensor detects motion on weekdays between 6 a.m. and 8 a.m., it gets today's weather data from the API, extracts the information we need, and announces it through the speaker. Let's also add a dashboard so we can see the weather data visually. Create a new dashboard and add 4 widgets, with each widget showing one of our weather variables. Before running the project, connect the PIR motion sensor to your controller following the connection diagram. We're using a Raspberry Pi for this tutorial. Important: make sure your sensor outputs 3.3 volts. Higher voltages can damage the Raspberry Pi's GPIO pins. Once connected, let's run our project. But wait. How do we play the audio through our Bluetooth speaker? It's really simple. Just click the Bluetooth icon in the top right corner of the Raspberry Pi desktop, find your speaker, and pair it. That's it. Let's test it out. Now when human motion is detected by the sensor, today's weather forecast plays through the Bluetooth speaker.
Good morning. Today's weather will be heavy rain with temperatures ranging from 18.5 to 23.4 degrees and a 95% chance of rain.
No more getting soaked because you forgot your umbrella. Congratulations! You've successfully built your Grablo project. Ready to explore more? Check the links for tutorials and support. Thanks for watching and enjoy creating with Grablo.